Haven't seen Ella yet. Does anyone have anything to share as of now while we are waiting for Ella?
Yeah, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I can't find the email that has the lead submission and everything in it. Is there a way you could resend that?
Absolutely. I'll send it in the chat right now
Okay.
with the form, right? To send deals.
Yeah, I can't. The email had a bunch of different things in it, but I think I just need the submission for the deals.
Yep. I
Eric,
just sent in the chat now.
check your junk mail.
Yeah, we have some other things to share in the Zoom today too. And I think it'd be a lot easier for us to communicate in a single channel. So we now have a Discord. I can show that to you guys leading the Zoom. So I send the link for the form in the chat.
Okay,
And
thank
let me
you.
send a Discord. Sure. Let me send the Discord link in the chat as well.
Mile. Use the right two lanes to take the New Jersey 23 North ramp to I-80 West Del Water Gap.
All right, I'll just share my screen now with the Discord. I sent the link in the chat, but I'll send an email later tonight with the link as well, so you all can join us. And I think we have some good information there. Let me just share my screen now while Ella's not here. Does everyone see my screen with Discord?
Yep.
Great. So I think this would be the best channel for us to communicate, so everybody will be in the same chat. If you're not
Right two
familiar with
lanes to take the New
Discord,
Jersey 23 North.
just
Then you'll use the left two lanes to take the I-80 West ramp to Delaware Water Gap.
all right, perfect. Okay. So that's the Discord. I send the link in the chat. I'll send it later in an email. It's pretty much easy to understand if you're not familiar with Discord. It's kind of, I don't know, like a chatting platform.
Left two lanes to take the I-80 West ramp.
All right, let me mute someone. Okay. So right now I have this welcome section, just basically, explaining a little what the Discord would be about. Then after you join, just go in introductions and introduce yourself. We just created this morning. So here's mine, and you have a simple example here. You can just say your name, how long you have been in sub to, where you're located, what you do, what you're working on, and what you're looking for. And if you want, just drop your contact information so people can reach out to you by text or email, or maybe your socials if you're the type of person. So welcome introductions. We have other resources also available here. So all the links that matter will be here. We have the deal submission form. We have the playlist on YouTube with all the recordings. So I think we have 4 as of now, and this one will be the 5th one. We have the Google Drive link as well with all the resources we have now. We have the proof of funds, buy box, and underwriting spreadsheet. We should have the list very, very soon. I was supposed to have that, but I don't have that now. I work with Ella, but she has just been in a very busy week at all. So she has been in a busy week. And even myself, I couldn't talk to her much during this week. But moving forward, we are catching up on all the deal submissions. I checked this morning. I think we had 22. I believe we had 2 or 3 more during the day. So we should have 25 now.
I just submitted one about an hour ago.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm getting them all with an email notification, but to keep them all organized, we just haven't had enough time to look at them all. But I'm trying to make them clean as well, because I'll have to update this form, because after you send a deal, if you want to send us any information, like any new paperwork or any new comment, it's hard for it to put everything together. So I'm looking for a new form so I can organize everything and just keep it, very concise as we get more information.
Right. I submitted one, but I didn't have the form, so this would be good. She was going to email the form, but I never got it.
Yep. Okay. So I think it will all be on Discord. I can, just show some other links we have here. So deal submission, YouTube playlist, Google Drive, all other links from Ella. If you have any friend who wants to join us, we have the link here as well. The Discord will be also here if you want to invite somebody else to the Discord. So welcome introductions, announcements. Here's where we're gonna send some communications. I think you have been using email, but a lot of people have been saying that many emails are going to spam, promotions, and we have been trying to fix that, but it's very hard because you're not sending. It's a very recent and a small list, and this happens to almost everyone. So the more we interact and send emails, I think it will stop being marked as spam. And I think that's the most important feature of the Discord for us now. We have this chat where everybody can just chat in the same channel and kind of a group chat with everyone. I think Ella just joined us. So I'll just finish this and I'll let her speak. So that's pretty much it. I'll send the link later for the Discord, and that's very simple to understand. Welcome, announcements, resources, introductions, and the most important thing, the chat where you can all interact. So that's all I have for now. We're still working on the list and do submissions, and that's all I have for now. So if anyone has any questions, anything you would love to say, I think that's the moment for us to network and share what we are doing.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yes, with feedback.
But now it's
Got
do you
echo.
do you see the echo?
Echo.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not working.
All right, thanks so much for letting me know I was muted. So, yep. So we have the links in the chat for Discord and the submission form as well. I think Ella was having some issue with her microphone or something else. I would just wait for her to join us again. And I think that's all I have for now. If anyone has anything to share, we'd love to hear.
Does anybody here use a deal sauce? I just signed up for that.
I do. I use it depending on what the property is, and it works for the most part, but I like Prexy better.
No. I just started playing with it today, so it's kind of, I don't know, clunky at this point.
I'm sorry, guys. I am trying to connect, and I can only connect from the phone and not from the computer. I wanted to show you different structures, but I'm a little bit struggling. I don't understand why you cannot hear me from the computer. So if you stay with me a couple more minutes, because what I want to show is from the computer, not from the phone. If you can go still around, and can you hear me now?
Yes.
Beautiful. So yeah, please network for a couple more minutes, because I did prepare some materials for you, but I cannot do it through laptop. I don't know what's going on. I'll keep playing with that. So please wait a couple more minutes, and if you can share your experiences, share your wins, and share your challenges. We're all here for that.
Hello everyone, this is Brian. I've started working with Ella a little bit.
Recording in progress.
So Igor, if I may, just a little bit, I know you've asked me if I had anything to bring. So to fill a little bit of the time, what I'm finding, and I joined May 29th, so I'm relatively new, like most of you. What I'm finding is that I'm reaping the benefits of the seeds that I've sown by taking action. And so, as I've mentioned in previous calls, I'm an executor. I don't, I've probably watched maybe 2 videos through the sub two, to be honest with you. I am a little different. I do have a finance background. I was in mortgages and such. Nonetheless, I'm not an investor yet. And I haven't done anything that you guys have done. So I'm new to all of this like you. But one thing that I will say is that I have, executed. I have gone out there and just started learning, learning the hard way, doing rather than analyzing. And I spend quite a bit of my time just fielding emails and phone calls. I mean, my mornings are, I want to say filled up, but my mornings pretty much, after I go through my routine, wake up, so on. I'm looking through emails and I'm fielding calls and I'm making them. And so those are the seeds that I reaped, that I planted probably a month ago. And I'm developing these relationships with people. I think Ella will attest that I'm a borderline harassing, bothering her at times, right? So I know she'll say no, she's a sweetheart. But so I am, seeing those. So I would encourage you all to, stick to your craft, figure out what your niche is. I haven't figured mine out yet. My net is still wide. I'm catching all types of different fish and figuring which is the ones to throw back, which is the ones to keep, so to speak. And so I'm dialing it in. On top of that, you're gonna go through some learning experiences like I have, and I'll share some of mine. There was a great opportunity via a broker who communicated with me, email, and I was so busy building AI. And I think I spoke to Dusty about building AI, that it was a seller finance at 80%, 4% interest rate, right here in Boston. The numbers were beautiful. I think it lasted about 2 days. I went ahead and called the owner. And Ella, interrupt me when you're ready, please. I'm just filling in the time here. But I went ahead and called the owner. I went through one of these platforms here, and I drilled down and I found out that he had about 6 properties. So I called him. I cold called him and I practiced my pitch. And I asked him, how many properties do you have? And he told me, and I said, are you looking to sell any? And he said, I've already got 2 under agreement. And one of them was the one that I was looking at. But I did tell him, if it falls through, I'm the guy. That's it. And if you have anything in the future, save yourself the commission and give me a call. Hopefully that'll, benefit me in the future. If not, I am going to call him again next week. And if it fell through, I'm the guy. Right. So I'm going to call back, be respectful, and let's see what happens. And I will ask him if he has any buddies in the community that are looking to unload. I looked at he's got a primary residence for about 33 years. So he's a gentleman already, probably looking to unload and make his life simple. Right. Well, as Pace would call it, a tired landlord. And so that's one of the things that I learned, is that it fell through the cracks. So I'm leveraging AI now to build what's called a super agent. And I would encourage you all to, learn not just in real estate, but figure out your craft, figure out the things that are, figure out the pains, I guess, and try to solve them. And this is part of executing. No video, I don't think, is going to teach you this. This is part of just going out there and doing it. And so what I discovered is that I have to build the ability to monitor these emails. So I'm building a super agent now that's going to monitor my emails for specific, things like email, real estate related, so on and so forth, statements. And the real estate ones is going to tell me in the morning, here are the top 5 emails, top 10 emails you received. Take a look at them, right? And this is something you can use AI with. And I've also built an underwriting engine that, Ella has seen some of my stuff. That's just underwriting everything for me. So I no longer have to sit there and find out what's missing or not. It just reads it back for me and it tells me here's what you got, here's what's missing, and here are your next steps. So I encourage you all to figure out your process, learn by executing. And that's the only way you're going to build your parachute, as you jump off. And it's not going to be perfect. And you can stay on the sidelines and watch all the videos you want. You're just not going to learn the same way. And that's it. And leverage off of each other, right? Those are my mistakes. That's what I'm learning, and I'm sharing with you guys, and hopefully it benefits some of you. And I'd encourage you all to just, keep sharing with each other. I'm using both Claude and ChatGPT, and they talk to each other if you figure out how to do it. You can do the Chrome extension on Claude, and you ask it to look at ChatGPT and review its work and do an infinite loop until keep doing it until you find no mistakes. And you can literally talk to it like that. Like, keep checking your work until there are no mistakes. And I know last week I mentioned put a price on it. So I told it, produce for me a $50,000 underwriting report. Pretend you're the top underwriting firm in the country running, right? And so that's it. And so when you're there, and I would encourage you all to look under what's called, if at least for both of them, I'll correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to start all over every time you prompt it for those people who are playing with AI. And so what I would tell you is, in order for you, to get consistency, you have to do what's called instructions at the project level. At chat, it's called the memories. I believe as well as I'm sorry. Yeah, chat is memories. Claude is instructions. And once you see what you like, you tell it, give me the instructions so that I can rerun this every single time. And it's going to give you pretty much like a Word document within the chat. You copy it, you go to the project settings, and you load the instructions. You give it the color. My font size was like 5 or 6, too small. I'm blind. So I needed a 10 font. I like the colors black and gold. I'm visual, so I wanted graphs. I didn't want words. I wanted to see it, and I didn't want 50 pages. I wanted 4 or 5, and so on and so forth. I wanted a picture. You could tell it exactly what you want it to do. Talk to it. And once you get it, give me the instructions so I can load it into the project. Load the instructions. Use that project. Open a chat within the project, right? Here's the project. The chats are underneath it. Every single time you open a new chat, you could tell it to organize. Igor, you're saying you're having problems with organizing. Tell chat to organize your folders. It'll create a whole system, and it will subfolder and name it for you. Every single one. And you can have it named by person submitting it or by property. So you can do all these different things. Just think outside the box. You can literally create anything you want. Figure it out.
Beautiful,
Hey,
Brian.
Brian.
Thank you. Can you hear me guys now?
Yes, we can.
Wow, I'm going through the phone. I don't know. Weird. I'm gonna deal with this after. Thank you, Brian. Oh, that's amazing. You can actually save the instructions in an MD file. You can ask Claude, now everything we've done on that session, save it in MD file. MD, it's a fancy name for the text file. So, and just use it on any other new session. So you can actually give those instructions, not even physically going and save it somewhere, but just save it, ask it to save it. Now, like, remember everything about me and save it. So,
Right. One last
it's
thing, Ella,
good.
one last
Please.
thing I want to add to that is, once you see it, not only the instructions, but there's another section where you can attach files, and you want to do it when you save the memory, it's either default or project only. I'm interested in architecture. I'm interested in cooking. I'm interested in travel. I'm interested in entrepreneurship. So rather than having that memory of everything I'm interested in, I tell it to only have the memory for the project only. Okay, that's another little tidbit. And once you're in that project, you can attach files to that, not only instructions. So I'll attach a file of the report itself, and I will upload that report via the file and pictures. If I have an emblem, if I have a logo. So Ella has a logo for Sunrise Investments and Development. You can upload that logo and attach it. So every time it produces a report, it has a file, what it looks like, the logo, the instructions, so on and so forth. I'm sorry, but that's it.
Beautiful. No, that's exactly how I produce now LOI. Like, basically I say, okay, produce LOI, letter of intent, for such and such property. These are conditions. Use my artifacts, and it's gonna create LOI with what I already kind of programmed. So I load it first, and now it's creating the artifacts. So yeah, okay. So small note: nobody beat me up. It's a bed bugs. I got beaten up. I was beaten, not up. I was beaten by bed bugs in a hotel here locally 2 days ago. So now I'm like, my whole face moved sideways. So that's, believe it or not. Speaking about hotel investments, my next step is talk to owners and see if he wants to sell, because this hotel needs work, like really needs work. Anyway,
Discount.
a discount. Well, yes, so I don't sue him. I kind of tempted a little bit because it was actually it
Discount.
significantly ruined my plans here. We were supposed to do branding photography, so I literally came here to have a beauty face, and now I have that. So we were doing photography today, but we were turning like sideways or backwards, and like that's really. I know, Colin. Thank you. I did washed. I washed everything in laundromat, like everything I had. All my possessions went to the like dumped into laundromat.
Those are brutal. My daughter brought them home from college one time. We didn't catch them till later, and it had to do the whole house. Whew. It was quite a project.
I know. We actually
Have not
had
been home, Mila.
gut renovation. We had gut renovation in Boston, and it's Boston, and I knew there were bed bugs in the building, but we demolished everything. We thought we were okay, so we built everything new, and once we built, they came out from the walls back. So that was quite. We had a new condos infested with bed bugs. So the way we actually resolved that, we fumigated them through. There is a way to do it through electrical outlets. So we fumigated the walls inside. So they actually were gone, surprisingly. I mean, we could have been just, people say, like, burn the house after. That's really, and they're traveling. They're traveling with a
Pretty much
ginormous
that's
heat.
what they did to my house. We had to take everything out that would melt, and they heated the house up to 180 degrees or something to cook the little bastards.
No, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And the hotel tells me, oh, this is first time happened. I mean, I saw them. I physically saw them. They're big. Like they were big. Like they were literally, I jumped, they were in my bed. So, and I was head to toe, like covered in bites. So that was fun. But anyway, on a good note, so I wanted to show you, I played a little bit with a spreadsheet. I will share, and I wanted to show you a little bit more about NOI, cap rate, and the different ways of financing. So when I'm being nasty bitch and I'm saying, no, your cap rate is too low, it's not because I'm nasty bitch. It's because, so you see exactly how the numbers are playing when we have this low cap rate and how structure can save or kill the situation. So let's just go through, look in the cap rate, look in different rates, and see how is our cash flow is differentiating. I think it's just a good, like Brian, you said visual. I think it's a good visual for all of us. Yes, hold on. Yeah, so let me share the spreadsheet and done. Just do the screen. And I think, okay, can you see my spreadsheet?
I only see a black screen now, but I was going to mention about your camera.
There
Seems
it
like
is.
you're still on your phone and I couldn't see you. Now I see the screen, but I don't see you.
Do you see me through? Do you see me through? Do you see me now?
No, I see just the picture.
Okay, let's keep it this way. I am challenged today. I don't know
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. No
what's
problem.
going
I
on.
just wanted to mention
Weird.
that. Okay.
Thank you so much. I don't know why my
Can you make it larger?
larger. Okay, hold on. Yes, I absolutely can. Thank you. It's gonna be beneficial for all of us. Hold on. Okay, so this way. Mhm. So let's look for an example. Okay, let's move this thing. Mhm. Okay, so let's go just for example, like this is actually where we're landing in a lot of our purchases. So let's go with a purchase price of 5 million as a matter of example. So and let's work our way up. So let's say our NOI is 350, which is my minimum NOI that I'm trying to be at. 300. And I will show you why we're also looking for this type of NOI. So with NOI 350 and purchase price of 5 million, we are in a cap rate 7. So let's see how things play out with this cap rate, right? So let's say our cap rate is 7. So let's say we have loan financing, 7% interest only, which this product doesn't really exist, but like hypothetically speaking, we finance whole 100% with 7%, this is ongoing rate for assets, right, or DCR mortgages. I mean plus minus, but let's say that's ongoing rate. So our yearly interest only financing, which is also not a regular loan, right, would be 350. So at this point, we're going to be zero cash flow. So that's where we are. So for 7 cap rate, which is low for our purposes, if we finance the whole amount of the purchase price with loan of 7%, we're going to be at zero cash flow. So we earn nothing. Like our investment, nothing good about it, right? So let's say we spoke with the seller, he's in the dire straits, and he agrees to finance for us for 5%, which is kind of going price for seller financing, interest only for like number of years, let's say 5 years, while we improve, do things, that and that, this and that. So that's going to be 250. Okay, so we're doing better. Basically, at this situation, if we had seller finance the whole thing, we would be having actually 100K profit, cash rate. We're gonna have a cash flow of 100K. How would we see this? Our NOI 350 minus seller financing 5%, 250. So we are at cash flow of 100K. Again, we're doing very roughly model. I'm just trying to understand how these numbers are correlate. So that's nice, right? It's never the case. We never lucky to have that type of a scenario. And we still on a cap rate 7, right? So this is the low cap rate. And this is why I want to show you it's very hard when we have a cap rate of 7 to achieve anything beautiful, anything like really worth looking at it for us. So now let's go to the different theme. Let's say seller financing 5% rate for 80% of the investment. And this is go-to structure. So it happens a lot. 75%, 80, we are getting sellers to do that. So okay, so 80% of the amount, let's look at the formula. We're taking basically that field of the seller financing of the whole amount and taking 70% out of it. It's actually not, it's 8%. So it's 80% out of the amount above, right, which was 100%. So 200 going to be seller financing. But then we still have 20% left, right? So that 20%, let's assume it came from investors. So investors' capital is the most expensive capital. And that's where we try to minimize it because, at least me, I'm giving preferred return of 12. And why I'm doing that? Because a lot of people who come with me, investors, they need cash flow. And even for you guys, whoever gonna decide to come with me, like I'm all about cash flow. Cash flow is all I want to hear. So respectfully, I want to go back the same thing as a cash flow. So I underwrite everything for 12% pref, which is on the higher side in the community. So in the community, I think it's between 8 and 10. But so this is kind of my assumption that I want to provide. So now 12% preferred. So preferred return, it means basically interest that you're getting monthly. So 12% yearly, let's say from 100K, it's going to be 1,000 a month. So from 100K, it's going to be 12% yearly, 1,000 a month. So that's private investor, what it means. And we're taking 20% of the amount. So let's take 5 million, 20% times 12% interest. So this is how we pay investor a year, 120. So our sum of seller financing plus private investor is 320. So we are cash flowing 30,000 a month, a year, sorry, 30,000 a year. Very tiny month, right? Like the two something, 2,500. So that's why. So you can see on this picture every which way we're going. Once we have 7 cap rate, it's really difficult to create something substantial. So when cap rate 7% cap rate is good, it's good for investors who have a cash to park. Like literally, I spoke with some Russian magnate, like rich guy, like really rich guy. He's like, okay, money in Moscow, like losing, like there is nothing I can do. I'm losing. So he wants to buy something in Boston, and he's showing me the building in like Brookline, and I'm like, dude, like the cash rate, like the cap rate is like 5. Like, I mean, that's not even an investment. And he said, no, it's fine for me. Like, I need to park all of this money, and it's a safe neighborhood. It's a safe place. I want to be in Brookline in Boston. This is kind of our cream of crop. And so for him, this 5% cap rate would work because big chunk of the purchase price he's gonna bring in cash, his own cash. We, and I believe most of us, either using investors' money or sellers' money. So none of us here have like a millions to bring and park, and we don't have that problem, thankfully. Otherwise, we wouldn't be hustling that much. So for us, 7 cap rate is not something truly interesting. So let's now play a little bit more. Let's now go to the better cap rate. Let's go to 400. So we are at cap rate 8, little better. This is my minimum cap rate, right? This is what I am minimum for me. So we are at 8 cap rate. So let's see how our situation is improving, right? So if we would have the loan, official loan for 7%, interest only, we're going to be in 350. Things already getting better. If we would seller finance the whole thing, interest only for 5%, for 250, or we have already 150 cash flow. Again, this is rare scenario when we have 100% self-financing. But okay, so let's finance 80% with 5% self-financing and 20% with private investors. So our cash flow already 80. Not fantastic, but much better. Now let's go to higher cap rate, my kind of favorite ones. And that's why I am like keep like cap rate. I know cap rate, guys, take a look, because that's why I wanted you to show it visually so you understand why really we're looking for that. So now we are, let's say, NOI for 50 and our cap rate is 9. So with all of this thing, our cash flow is already 130. So that scenario is pretty popular. So seller financing 80%, and then private investor 20% with 12 pref. So our cash flow is already 130. It's a little bit more than 10,000 a month. So this is nice. This is good, right? I mean, obviously things gonna fluctuate, but at least as a starting point, having 10K a month, it's after already paying all the debt, it's a pretty safe pillow for us, assuming we have a little bit of a reserves. So again, when I'm buying, I'm trying, like I'm aiming for this purchase price of 5 million, keep 100K reserves in case of something going wrong. And so I have 100K reserves, and then I have 10,000 a month coming. And this way I know whatever happens, I will satisfy seller interest and I will satisfy investors' interest. So let's go to the beautiful 10% cap rate. So sometimes we get them as well, right? So, or let's say we improved some, right? Let's say we're buying something that's not fully occupied, but we feel like our kind of educated guess that we could fill it up pretty quickly, be it RV park or multifamily. So let's move to the 10 cap rate. So this is when our cash flow is landed on 180. So we are in 15,000 a month. Beautiful. So that's where we kind of trying to be. We're trying to be on a cap rate of 10 or 9. And that's where we see in the cash flow, really. So I just wanted to show you how it's really cap rate is really it really fluctuates our results. And yeah, let me show, I wanted you to show also a little bit of different scenarios. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show you. So we have in seller financing, but let's talk about loan. Let's talk about scenario when we have a loan, right? Not everyone agrees to the seller financing, and it's a still viable product for us. So let's say we take in loan for 70% loan to value. That's what would be like a normal standard loan for most of our products. And it's going to be a loan for the most part, it's going to be amortized, right? So we're going to be paying interest plus some principal. So this loan product going to be it's going to be higher than interest only loan. So let's take 70% out of our 5 million and put it on a 7% going rate with amortization. Then we will need 30% from private investor coming on a 12 pref. So this is conventional buy. I have them. Bunch of them in Boston. This is before I started doing creative. This is how I was buying for a while, right? I would bring 2-3 people. I would buy something for $1 million, bring 3 people with me as investors. They're getting their 12 pref. I started actually doing 15 pref, but then we kind of agreed 12 pref and 3 at the end. And this is conventional product that we can come and buy any building, truly. This is what they're looking for. This is the normal conventional cash, quote unquote, buy. We're taking loan and we're bringing down payment, which is not particularly us, but investors, could be our family, friends and family, could be PMLs from sub 2, but we're giving them 12 pref, they're getting monthly distribution. So even with our 10%, this conventional buy is producing pretty lousy result, 40,000. Let me just check that I'm doing everything right. So I'm copying it. I have a loan actually calculated in a beginning of the page in a different place, but that number is correct, I know. Now this one is 30% on 12. Yes, this is correct. So this is what we get. This is our cash flow. So if we would go conventionally, even on a 10% cap rate product, we're getting very, very small cash flow because we basically fully leveraged in this case with a pretty high rate, right? Our loan is 7%, investor is the same, but what's changing in between seller financing and the loan is really seller financing was 5% for 80% of the product. Here as we have a loan financing for 7%, for 70% of a product. And the same thing, we're filling up the gap with the private investors, but then our cash flow is 40,000 compared to cash flow is 180 if we would have a seller financing product. And that's why that's why it's so juicy for us to have really the seller financing rather than the loan, at least when we taking over, right? We will land with a lender anyway after like 5 years or 7 years, but we would do some work and it's going to grow. Now, let's say if we have a combination, right, Morby method or stacking method, we had that the same, not so beautiful loan product for 70% LTV, 7%, but then we have a seller financing coming on top, right? So instead of taking private investor for 12 pref, we're going to have a seller financing for 5% for those 30% for the down payment. This is what we're trying to stack. This is, Nancy, what we were trying to do with that Billy lady, right? So that's basically 70% mortgage, and yes, I'll finish in just 1 second, and I will answer everything because I'm going to lose the thought. And then we have this combination of the seller financing, and that's where our cash flow is 145. So we're doing beautifully on that product, right now, because we came with 0 down. We didn't need to look for investors, and we persuaded seller to come in and 30% as the second as a second after the mortgage. Again, it's not easy to achieve, but I have buildings like that. So and he comes second, be it a second mortgage or be it on a limited partnership or deed of trust. There is different ways to secure him, her, but our cash flow is 145. So that's beautiful. Now this is assuming we have 10% cap rate, right? So again, like this loan product is kind of screwing us up a little bit because it's a big amount and rate is 7. So that's why when we negotiating, it's really sweet for us to be in a seller financing of 80%, because then no matter what we do with the rest of the amount, we're gonna be pretty good. So it's a combination of our cap rate, seller financing. So yeah, that's really an NOI, right? So I mean, we still need to have pretty good NOI. And also, why am I trying to be like 300 plus? Because all of these amounts, if NOI is smaller and everything is smaller, and let's say purchase price is, I don't know, 2 million, and our NOI is 200, by the time we subtracted everything, we're gonna left with like 20,000. So it's a lot of sweating and working and hustling for like a 20,000 a year. So we don't want to be there. It's the same time to work on 5 million purchase and 2 million purchase, or 200 single family purchase. Yeah, I will, guys, answer your question just in a second. Yeah, so that's really, so what I want to say is when you guys send me, okay, this seller doesn't want seller financing, cap rate is 6, but it's beautiful RV park. Nothing we can do with that. Nothing. We're gonna be negative, like we're gonna be 100 negative. That's what's gonna happen. So that's where are we. So when you're looking at your submissions, when you're looking at, before your submissions, right? When you're looking on a product, so see, okay, cap rate higher than age. Can we negotiate some seller financing? It could be main loan, like here, right? 80%. This is beautiful. This is the best. Or maybe he's okay for 30% second or 20% second. Then like 8 above and some seller financing, we can start to glue things together. But if we don't have that, if our cap rate is 6 or 7 and he doesn't agree to seller financing, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter. We could be like in a gorgeous place. We're not gonna make any numbers. That's not gonna happen. So kind of have a fresh look. I will ask Igor to send you. I'll create better spreadsheet and send it to you so you could a little bit play. I mean, it's very straightforward. I created it now like 5 minutes ago, but just to show you understanding how is really all those percentages are correlated. It's a very, very simple math. If you look on a formula, it's only 2 and 3 parameters in there, nothing complicated. And this is how you could see how really the different structures plus cap rate is correlating with each other. Now, this is only if we want to do cash flow. And this is what I am after. I am personally after cash flow. There is a lot of people who not necessarily want the cash flow. I mean, they don't need to. They're in W2, they're producing, and they're more looking on a generational wealth. So they're looking to hold it. They don't care that it's not producing anything at the moment. They want to hold it and have it growing. And there are a lot of people like that. So then maybe it's not a big deal. Then maybe if you have that scenario, like here, and I have buildings like that before I knew creative. So I actually, in my case, I am running them as Airbnb, so I'm still producing my chunk. But that's where I would be if I wasn't if I wasn't kind of having alternative ways to rent it. So that's a structure of no cash flow. But building still appreciates and growing if it's in a growing area. So you're still you're gonna reap the benefits, but you're not gonna get cash flow. So we are in this group, at least, we're all about cash flow. So, and that's why our cap rate is higher, NOI is higher, and we are looking for some type of seller financing to take the, to take the, like the heat of the rates. Okay, let me quickly, Pam. No, sorry, it was somebody before. Can you guys please speak up who were raising hands? Galaxy
Can you hear
C23,
me?
I don't know. Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Hey,
Mhm.
Alan, Kosi. My name is Kosi.
Proceed. Yeah, thank
I
you.
think
Mhm.
I think you answered one of my question, which is obviously the cap rate. Like, let's say you want to like glance over a prospect that you're looking at. You want to stay 8% is almost like breaking even, I'm assuming, right?
Pretty much if there is no seller financing.
Okay. The second question is, how is the cap rate uh come about? Is that based on the term that you propose to the seller?
So cap rate, let's look closely how it's done.
Okay.
So its cap rate is NOI. Okay, here's the
Mm-hmm.
formula. It's NOI divided by
Okay.
purchase price. So you see
Gotcha.
500
Gotcha.
NOI divided by
Gotcha.
5 million. We've
Yeah.
got, so when we had 350 here, our NOI was 7%.
Great.
So
That
it's a
answered
very
that question.
simple. You
Okay.
just need to make sure, because not everybody do that in their the way they define NOI, right? So
I know.
NOI should include your insurance and taxes. So
I
it
got you.
includes everything
Everything.
except
Yeah.
debt, debt payment, right? So
Okay.
it's only the only thing it doesn't include is your mortgage, interest rate, etc. But all expenses, everything needs to be in, right?
My
Including
last
property management. Mhm.
okay. My last question is the LTV. Rule of thumb is the lower the LTV, the better chance you, or what the better, you know, deal you can kind of negotiate because it's almost like an equity in there for you, the buyer. Is that what it is?
So LTV is for, we mostly, so LTV for mortgage, you're saying that one, that LTV
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
So
Because
it's really defined. Mhm.
I've been told anything less than 50 is a good prospect to kind of look at, right? Everything. So anything above like 60, you basically like it's not worth wasting your time. Almost like the same cap rate when you say it's like when it's 6 or 7, you don't really want to waste your time on that,
So
So
LTV of what exactly you're asking? Because LTV could be loan, it could be seller financing. So LTV is a loan to value. So
so let's
which
do seller
loan
Well,
are you
I think
financing.
relating to?
I think because I think what he's referred to, Ella, is if there's a existing loan on a property. So if you have $1 million property and it's
Got
over
you.
eight hundred
Got you.
thousand dollars is owed,
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
then there's
Yeah, yeah.
only 20% of equity to negotiate with the seller. The seller can't do more than 20%, in other
They
words.
can do.
So you're
Got
right.
you.
And
Do
just
you
to
have
Let's
so
look
my
on this scenario, guys. This is a very, very
okay.
good scenario, and I wasn't thinking about it, and that's a great scenario. So let's look at it. Let's assume we have assumable mortgage. So that's another way to get a very, very good rate. So let's
Okay.
do loan financing. Let's do loan financing. Let's assume the same 70%, just for a moment, LTV. But we assuming 7% loan, 7% LTV, but our rate is 3.5. This is what actually I'm getting right now on a multifamily in New York. This is the truly the only I am looking on this deal. So because we're gonna have for 7 years that mortgage, right? So let's see how it look like. So let me quickly, I'm actually calculating it over here. Just a second. This is my spreadsheet for a lot of things. Hold on, I can move everything. Just a second. So let's say our down payment here is 30%. So our mortgage interest, I just have a formula here. So 3.5,
Okay.
boom. And amortization is 30 years, which is not really, but that's where we let's calculate where are we here. So we want to be, so our yearly mortgage gonna be that one. It's going to be C14. So 188 going to be our assumable mortgage yearly. So let's go this way. So, well, it's jumped in here, so we don't really need to calculate separately, but this is how it's jumped to us. So then we've got 188. So that's yet another way. So our cash flow is jumped significantly, right? So yes, when we see assumable mortgages, this is an asset. This is definitely asset. Like so we're trying to get any possible way to be as low rate as possible. So our highest is investors, 12%. The next highest is the normal mortgage, just a normal market mortgage for 7%. Then seller financing, roughly 5%. And then if we can assume anything, but it has to be assumable 5 years minimum. So if you have anything assumable, which is below 5%, it's beautiful. Now, if we can combine, and if it's 50%, and now I understand what you're saying about, so if it's, let's say, 50% assumable mortgage, and then for like a 3.5%, and then we could sell a financing for additional, I don't know, 25, 30%, and then we bring 20%. So we're still gonna have a beautiful product. Because we would have even better product than if we would have 80% seller financing, because 50% is going to be 3.5 rate, and then 30% is going to be seller financing 5, and then 20% we will bring investors for that 12%. So whatever which way we're playing, it's a simple math truly. If you look at it, we're playing, okay, here is my cap rate, and here against that, so cap rate is 10. But then against that, if we go 3, 5, and then 12 for the little, and combination of those portions, so that's really our cash flow. So this is we're playing with chunks. We're playing with chunks of financing, basically.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Brian, but
Oh no, please. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming so. In base, even if it's mortgage or financing, you don't really pay attention to, especially the LTV, and you're more focusing on how high the cap rate is for you, right?
How cap
What
rate and how can I structure? How
how can you
creative
structure? Okay.
I could be, and how I could structure it this way that it benefits me. So creative financing is really is comprised from, it's basically how can we make we usually approaching with creative something that's been already on the market for a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's already not selling. We already know that this project is not to die for with the conventional financing. So we already know it would be gone. It would be gone if it was to die for. So we already know that something is not adds up together. So this is where we come in and we start massaging it. We start massaging it and see, okay, what can we pull apart? Or maybe we can't, because if seller is stubborn or broker stupid, excuse me, there are many like that. So this is the worst you can get, is the stupid broker, like not so like versatile and smart broker who would not understand what you're trying to do and not pass it to seller, and we kind of stuck in the middle. But we just trying to see, okay, that's why we ask those questions. Okay, cap rate is 8. Is there assumable mortgage? Is sellers open to creative? So we kind of asking all of these questions. Once we have those questions, even if you don't do it yourself and you send it to me and you say, okay, here's assumable mortgage, here's the seller open somewhat to sell it to creative, and this is like you already have done chunk of work, because then I'm coming back and we're gonna get on a phone, and then I ask my questions, and that's where I put my puzzle, and you're gonna be with me on that. So we're gonna be putting like this all change together and say, okay, maybe we'll go this way, maybe we'll go this way, maybe we're gonna see. We're gonna also test how smart this broker is and how they're friendly truly. And then I'm gonna start playing and sending you eyes. Okay, let's try it this way, or maybe that way. So creative financing is really creating our cash flow out of product, that out of purchase that otherwise not cash flowing.
Thank you so much. My long-term goal is truck parking. So I've been in that industry for a long time in the trucking. So it's almost like saying a storage units because it doesn't require any employees because everything is done through phone, everything is done through membership. So that's what I'm kind of focusing on right now because it only requires a piece of land, turn that into
Beautiful.
level it up, either cement it, what do you call it? Fence it, put some lights on, and a gated, basically like a gated community. So everybody know what to do because they already have their own spot. So you don't even need any employee whatsoever, and I can actually replicate that throughout the whole country. So that's literally
Beautiful.
what I'm focusing on right now.
So
But obviously,
trucking or RVs, like truck,
trucking,
like a
trucking, trucking, trucking,
like a
because
construction trucks, like a traveling,
no,
like a
no, 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 no,
transportation,
like 18 wheelers. like
transportation.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, transportation people who do like a flatbed, food stuff and all that because they need a place to start every single day, and it's becoming like a crisis throughout the whole country. So like I said, I'm still in the trucking industry for the last 15 years, and those are the pain that has been going on that I myself go through it and everybody else go through it. So I figure why not go this route because it's not a new concept.
Beautiful.
Everybody's doing it, right? It's just that I wanted to grow my company so bad to a point that I kind of neglect that side. But now everybody wants to do truck parking. So I'm like, hey,
That's
I have
that's
to.
beautiful. That sounds like a very passive, very nice passive income.
It
That's
is. It is.
absolutely, that sounds, well, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for you, and I'm here to help with anything. I think it's
Thank you.
yeah, that's, we actually spoke. So the asset we're looking with Nancy, that RV park that I visited 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So it has a
Yeah.
huge field in there. So what owner was suggesting is RV parking in there. So storage of RVs,
Storage. Yep.
because it's not the same as, let's say they charge monthly for RV 600 a month, but then just putting on the grass, and there is a huge field of a grass RV just to store, it's 100 a month, but you don't need anything. So that's one of the, like, if the deal coming through, that's one of the first improvements I'm gonna do actually, because it's even easier, as you said, as the storage units, because you literally
Yep.
need nothing.
Yep, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, what I love about it is you don't need any employee for it.
Yeah,
Everything is done through phone, right? So,
I
and
love
it's
it. Yeah,
recurring every single month. So, anyway, thank you so much for your time. And
love it. Beautiful,
Brian,
beautiful.
also thank you.
Okay, Pam. Pam, dear, you were holding the hand. Okay, how about Jerry?
Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Please, Jerry.
No, this is Pam.
Oh, Pam. Okay, Pam, go ahead, please. Please.
I just wanted to say hello to everyone and ask, so basically the 8% is the minimum in order for you to get to that 12%, because basically you're offering more than the average, person is, one. And two, it sounds like the interest rate for the most part has to be 6% or under. I'm just trying to get a ballpark to wrap my head around.
Yes, is it interest rate you mean for self-financing?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, self-financing, we don't want to go more than 5.5. That's really not, that's what
Okay.
I see everywhere. So we
Okay,
kind of want to be
5.5.
in, we shouldn't
Okay.
be go any above that.
Okay, and then for, for the loan to value, do they have to take at least 25%, 30%? What's the bare minimum? I know more
So
is
for
better.
loan to value and a normal conventional loan, it's between 70 and 80. So some people tell me 80. I'm a little bit skeptical on that. I know we pretty much can get 70. That's standard for this
Yeah, I
loan.
thought for commercial, so I thought for commercial you had to have about 30% down. But what I'm trying to say is how much, if you have investors coming with some money, how much are you, what's the minimum you need a owner to be willing to do seller financing for? I understand more is better. If they'll say, I'll do 90%, that's great, 100%, that's great. But what's the minimum you need them to do for
So
you?
you
really?
see the formula, right? So you kind of
Yeah.
you pretty much need to put in the formula, because
Is
that's
it
what I
true?
see. Like I think we looked with Brian. There was a hotel in Myrtle Beach, right? So they had, I think the purchase price was 3.5, and they own on a loan 2.5. So they could not, like I had to come with cash of 2.5 because their loan was not assumable. Plus, it was a very high interest loan, and they didn't have a good books to refinance on the regular loan. So when I need to bring 2.5 of investors' money, I gonna be negative with that 12%. So this is all proportional. We're trying to be with a, maximum of investors' money is 20% because we're gonna just tip down. We're gonna tip into negative.
Ella, if I
That's
could
that's
just if I
yeah.
could just interject, guys, this what I would point out too is that you guys don't assume that the price is static, meaning it can't be changed. That's the reason why I put 3 formulas on the side chat. If you scroll up, you'll see. You can get to your 8 cap by lowering the price.
That's true
Right?
too.
So you can get to that if it's close. Let's say 6.5, 7. You know you can get a little NOI, but you can get to your 8 cap by lowering the price. Remember, cap rate is NOI divided by price. The price goes down, the NOI goes, cap rate goes up. Okay, so Ella, as you know, just to elaborate what Ella's doing here is there's a couple of components that go into the pot from a math perspective. So there's a little bit of NOI, there's a little bit of interest rate, and then within the interest rate, it's a combination of assumable or so play with it. To answer you, Pamela, it's not cookie cutter like that. If the loan is assumable, it's
I
3.5%.
understand that it's a
No.
it's
What I'm saying is, if the loan's assumable and it's 3.5%, then then there's less needed on the other side, right?
Yeah, then we have a luxury to bring more investors. This is actually exactly my deal in New York. And thank you, Brian. We did negotiate it. So we started at 4 million. And because NOI was pretty good, like, so I started with the cash flow was like 150 a month, or a year, sorry, 150 a year. So loan was assumable, 3.5. I needed to bring bunch of like whatever the loan is 2.9. So I needed to bring well, we started 2.9 loan, then there was a seller financing for 400, and then the rest for 5%, and then the rest I was bringing on investors, and it was nice until I found out that the tax is assessed in 1970. So when I brought the taxes to how it should be, which is gonna happen, then we said no, not we. I came negative. So that's how we come back and said, okay, numbers don't work. And I literally said, like, the only way I'm gonna do it is 3.4, and they agreed. So then they backed out and they said, no, we don't want seller financing at all. We want to walk out. So we dropped again. We dropped more. We dropped to 3.2, and that's how we ended up with that structure. So yeah, so that's really just look at the math overall and see what's available. And if you're having trouble, just write to me like a simple email, like, okay, that's the structure, that's what available, and I can help and play, because we sometimes need like extra eyes, and we can play with this, with the combination, and see what else we could offer them. But we should start with a decent cap rate. If our cap rate is 6, we're not gonna go anywhere. We're just gonna be stuck with, yeah. Okay, Jerry, please go ahead.
Hi, Ella. Thank you for the illustrations. It's nice to see the breakdown of everything. But
I'm happy. Mm-hmm.
I had just a quick off-topic question. Like on your hotels, are you looking for like specific, like the brands, or are you looking at boutique hotels? What type of?
So little bit cooled off, guys, with the hotels, because
Okay.
anybody I talk to, everybody say that they're so operationally intense, and literally anybody I talk to, they say, don't touch hotels. So I just don't want to be smarter than everybody else. And still, I mean, I love them because I love hospitality. So I would still look at them, but I would say maybe don't focus on them because they are very operationally intensive. And like in this group too, we're trying to buy not one business, but many. And each of you, like, you know, we're trying to build a portfolio. And hotel gonna require a lot of, you know, operations to be involved in because they all require some type of upside. They have restaurant, they have all kinds of things. It's a one business of many of them. So I'm a little bit kind of posing on it unless numbers are absolutely fantastic and I absolutely love it. So I am little bit off with the hotels at the moment. Just because I literally anybody I talk to, everybody say like run. That's what I hear from hotel operators, you know. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be. I kind of started with this because I had Kuala. I'm walking out of Kuala. I need to change my picture at the back. I walked out because of the construction issue. I was actually a structural issue. Sorry, there's a wall. There's a big half a mile wall, which is like 100 years old, and I just don't want to take the risk of facing the issue with that wall. I mean, it's a hurricane area, and there is a river, and nobody could certify that wall. So I'm kind of walking away. But while I had a month to learn very well the operations, and I was ready to do that, but I knew like, oh my God, it's so much to operate in there. And that's pretty much all I will be doing. So even with having managers on site. So while at the same time I'm looking on RV parks or even multifamily, they look so much easier. So that's where I am. I mean, if you see, please do send, but don't focus at the moment, just because I think we could be better moving in quicker with other assets. Then again, we're trying to get the more the merrier, and we're trying to be as effective and efficient as possible. And hotel is not the asset where you
Right. And that's why I
could
was
be
wondering
effective
because
and efficient. Thank you for
yeah.
checking. I was about kind of to speak up about it as well because a lot of people bring hotels, but maybe we should like at least pause for a moment. Let's see where we're getting with RV parks and multifamilies because they are much easier assets to maintain. Igor, please go ahead. Thank you, Terry.
I
Igor?
was going to mention, I think the explanation was amazing. And the way I am seeing this meeting is you're kind of the chef in the kitchen cooking for us. And what you're looking to do at the end is a $100,000 cash flow per year. And the ingredients we are bringing to you is a good cap rate and good NOI. And as Brian mentioned, price is always negotiable. So one of the good ways of just increasing the cap rate is just negotiating the purchase price because the NOI is pretty much fixed. There's not much room, right? It is what it is. But you can always negotiate the purchase price, and that will, of course, affect the cap rate because it's not a number by itself. It's just a formula, NOI divided by purchase price. So I think the more we do this Zooms, I think the more we can learn and see what you're looking for. So next time when you're looking for properties, you can already see what you will look at. So we ask those questions up front. So now I think most of us, when we find something, we can kind of see this type of structure and how you would look at, because based on what you just presented, what I can think is, well, if I find something now, cap rate above 8 and NOI above 300,000, my first questions would be how much equity they have, is the loan assumable if there's a loan in place, and what would Ella, how would she structure this? I think it's amazing to have this type of information and this type of presentation. So I just wanted to bring this analysis from my point so people kind of understand this. Like now I have much more information, and I think it's just the 5th Zoom you're doing, and you have all of them on YouTube now. So as we do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Zooms, I think you have so much information that we can be more precise. And when it comes to you with the deal, we just present Ella That's the deal. That's the NOI. That's the cap rate. That's the purchase price. That's how I'm looking at this. They have
The
X.
simpler the better, truly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so by the time it gets to you, I think you can kind of see, okay, those are the numbers, and that's how I would structure this. And I just wanted to mention it's so valuable to have this. I was considering some other things, but I can mention at the end of the Zoom as I think I even spoke with you before. We could add another Zoom. I think you would be amazing. You would, we have to see your availability. But even so, just to have everyone in the same chat, in the same meeting, I think you'd be amazing for everybody to network and see what you're looking at. And I think every person brings in unique perspective, and it's very valuable to put everything together. So let's say spreadsheets for me is kind of something I like personally. I do like spreadsheets, but I see some people do not. So like Brian, I see he's action focused, right? He's just doing whatever it takes, but for some other people, just so technical and not really putting the work in, but they have good analysis and a good background too. So I think when you put everybody together in the same room and we can talk to one another, I think it's very valuable. And I just wanted to explore that. And now that we have the Discord channel as well, we have a chat and we can just talk there every day. So you're not missing anything. Even if mails are not delivered, people are getting the notifications about Zoom, buy box, and whatnot. So that's all I wanted to mention. No questions, nothing really specific. But as we go forward, that's just the 5th week we're doing this. But let's say, imagine in month 3, 4, 5, we will have a lot of data and information to understand what you're looking for and how we can work together. That's all.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. I managed my video now. Scott. Thank you. It's actually, it's literally 2 days ago. It occurred to me that cap rate and the interest rate is actually the same thing. Like it's how we correlate the interest. Like it's a in relation percentage in relation of an NOI and our price. So the funny part was that I actually, whatever, that is actually the same number. And I was like, oh my God, it's the same number. It would be so easy if we looking, okay, here is the cap rate and here is our rates. And we trying to be with our combination less than the cap rate. And that's where our cash flow is going to come in. So when I literally, as much as I'm working with it, only 2 days, it's occurred to me. So I'm grateful to you guys because I am working with your submissions and I'm looking and I'm like, how can I explain what's good and what's not when I underwrite it myself? And it's super helpful that like we talking and doing. Pace endorsed us when we had our last Zoom on Thursday. He actually was talking about our orbit in Q&A in a big Zoom. I'm gonna post it, but we're actually having more people joining now because he kind of spoke up of our orbit, so it's amazing. We have more people joining. I think we have a. I'm very honored, guys, to be here. That's a big deal for me that we work together, and I'm especially for new people. I'm welcoming you here, and I think we have kind of we created something very unique here because like everybody here coming, collaborating, and we have a knowledge and support group at the same time. I am looking to stay like that. I'm not like usually orbits are very short. I'm looking to continue and just continue. And once assets starts to coming in, I am totally looking for you guys to come on site and check it out. And we could do kind of on place, on right on site things and inspections and look. So I am really, really happy with what we have here right now. And thank you, Ricard.
I
Yeah.
think personally to me is that like when I joined this Zoom, I'm joining the Zoom because of you, the person. That's literally what I'm like
Oh,
gravitating
thank
to
you.
because I like to invest into people, not businesses or whatnot. I like to invest because I ask myself, maybe 10 years from now, can I still talk to this person? That's where I like to look at, like, that's my perspective in anything I do. So I don't know about anybody else, but I know personally, like you kind of portray like people can like migrate towards you. So it's like your energy, people can feel that energy. I can
Thank
feel that energy. So I can't really speak for all of us, but I come to this Zoom because of you, and I get more than I even bargained for, right? So I should be thanking you, not the other way around. So
Okay, thank you guys.
yeah.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Well, we continue. I actually want to propose to Pace, instead of having MSA, like I know we have MSA who welcoming, and I joined only a year and a half ago, so I had my own MSA, and all they send us to a lot of Zooms, and we've been lost in there completely. So I think people should be really joining kind of like this type of orbits, and just I think this is how like I'm gonna talk to him more when I see him in immersion in September about that. But I think that's the structure we should be really. That's how I think the new people should be welcomed, because we're just all getting lost. Like I was completely lost. I joined Sub 2 in Honest Club literally the same time within a week. And this, yeah, you've been lost in all the materials. There's just limited amount you can look and listen, and you just. Thank you guys, and I'm really, really, really grateful. That's thank you. Thank you. So who is next? Michael or Martin? I don't know who guys were first.
I'll just want to piggyback off of your thought there, Ella. I'm sorry, I had my hand
Yeah,
raised. So
yeah,
what you were talking about there's called a blended rate. So
yes,
when you said 8% minimum. So one of the things that I want to share with you guys is if you look at this blended rate, Ella's concentrating on cash flow, right? There's nothing that says don't take a deeper look, because, for example, if we get, again, we have 100% of the pie, 80% seller financing, let's say, or whatever, 20% here or 70-30, doesn't matter. There's nothing to say that we can't reduce that 20% to 0, right? Give them full price, just hypothetically speaking, give them full price. You want full price, we'll take care of your debt. You're not in trouble. And then we'll give you a very low rate or nothing. And we'll balloon you in 3 or 5 years because the asset will appreciate over time. That also gets you to cash flow. And I don't know, Ella, if that's something
yeah,
that you're interested in, but my point is that there's this blended rate, as she mentioned. We can still get to cash flow by paying 0 on a portion of the loan and just hold it. And then we'll give you the money later, right? Or Ella will give you the money later. So I wanted to share that with you guys. That is, so NOI doesn't tell the whole story as far as Ella's is concerned. Cash flow does, so we can get there by that. Another thing I wanted to just share with you guys is the superpower, as Igor was saying. We each bring something different to the table. Ella brings it all, right?
ah,
And
thank
so
you.
we have to figure out, and I mentioned this in one of our first calls, you got to figure out what your strength is. Some people are very good at talking to people and making them feel comfortable, right? Others aren't. Some people are very good at searching and looking for stuff and just don't have that other strength. So, figure out what your strengths are, go to your superpowers, and I think you'll do well. And then lastly, my question, and I'll give it back to you, Ella, is you mentioned that hotels, and I wanted to talk to you about this. It's great that you brought it up. Hotels are operation heavy, meaning that what's left over, the money that's left over, and the percentage of it, right? Or let's say the money you receive before the expenses, the percentage of the expense is very heavy. I think it's 60%
Yeah,
of what you collect, right?
correct.
60% of it goes to
Yeah,
hotel. Can you share with us, all of us, including myself,
yeah.
what's a healthy percentage for each thing? For example, if I'm looking at a multifamily, what does a healthy management fee look like? What does a healthy CapEx or reserves look like? How do we compare? What is the benchmark so that when we look at something, we could say that management is horrible. We could do better. We can reduce that expense, therefore
Beautiful.
increasing our NOI. How do we spot those things out? Can you give us a benchmark? And I'll leave it.
I
It's
would
a different
prefer
aspect.
maybe we'll do next session on it, because I want to research a little bit. I just can tell you overall the percentages. We take 60% for hotel, for operations, and that's what when we're looking on roughly, right? So because it almost doesn't matter what they put in, we kind of do almost like our own underwriting. So we say, okay, here is hotel, 60% is going to be expenses. Here is RV park, 50% going to be expenses. Multifamily varies, I would say 30, but kind of 30, between 30 and 40. But I would actually look and prepare a little bit better session on that. So like operations is usually like 5%, but let me prepare on that next session. Maybe we're going to do a breakout of expenses because I do need to kind of get it all together. So maybe we just do the whole next session about it. No, like not the whole, but we start next session for that. So because it does varies, we see different numbers, but we can put like at least percentage. Yeah, I just like I really underwriting it mostly on a like at least on the first stage, the napkin one, right? It's gonna be like just an overall percentage of expenses. But then when we're gonna go to due diligence, this is where the much deeper underwriting gonna happen, and that's a lot of things we will need to check. That's really gonna be big. It's gonna be like there's so much things to check when we are on the due diligence. But I will work on it. Yeah, that's okay. Michael Ron.
Or actually, it's Martin. Sorry, on
Martin,
here.
please
Hey.
yeah. No, I have Michael too there, so I just
Oh,
didn't know her first. Please,
that's all right.
please.
Yeah, he gave me permission to go first. Thanks, Mike. Anyway, yeah, thanks for the call yesterday. That helped out a lot, and especially seeing what you're doing here, simplifying, because I'm, me being the architect, I went deep into the weeds on the hotel one and trying to figure out how you could turn it around. But I think what we're all saying now, and especially seeing the way you're running these numbers, is to keep it simple at first, and then if you get to this point, then you get to have the conversation to see go deeper into it. I mean, I think what I sent you is I did a whole chat GPT thing with a whole spreadsheet that had it all, and AI unfortunately did it for me. But I think what you're saying now is to get, just simplify it for right now.
Yeah.
And then also on that too is just maybe something helpful to people. If you go on Crexy and stuff and you see that they have their pro forma NOI, don't
Yeah.
use it. It's good to know, but don't go by that because you're gonna, they're telling you what they could possibly make, but it's not what you don't want to pay
It's
for.
not for
pro
calculations,
forma.
right? It's nice to see what it's nice that there is upside. Yes, sure.
Yeah,
But we don't we buy on real, not on pro forma. For
right.
sure.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I just, hinted at everybody that sees it because at first I was like, oh, this sounds like a good idea because possibly potential's there, but you're not buying potential necessarily. You're buying cash flow. So.
Exactly.
That's where I got a little deep in the weeds on that. But and then I had another question on it. So what do you look at there? I mentioned it briefly, and I got more information today, which I haven't looked at, with a seller that's interested in selling multiple properties and possibly combining them. How do you look at that? Do you look at each one individually, or
Yeah,
you
each
have
one,
to
of
do it
course.
that way? Okay, yeah, because
Completely each one. Yeah.
okay, so it's not.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a plus or minus. Like
yeah.
we looked with you on a hotel and restaurant, right? The restaurant eating up all the hotel's revenue.
No, this is two
Yeah.
separate apartment buildings.
No,
I'm
I
looking at.
understand, but this is it could be plus, it could be minus.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where one is cash flowing really nice and the other one not so nice. So I'm trying to see whether what's going on, but I'll
And try to understand, and it could be different arrangement. It could be different self-financing arrangement as well. So maybe on the second one, we can show him that it's not cash flowing too well, and then he has to go more of a self-financing. Like we have to structure it maybe differently.
right.
It's
That's
two
true.
different assets, two different structures.
Got it.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. I hope
Beautiful.
you're having fun in
Beautiful.
Montana there. So
Oh,
too.
thank you. No, I'm an amazing place. Yeah, thank you. Mike.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Ella. Forgive me
Thank
for
you.
not being on camera. My camera is glitching. But first of all, I want to say to Ella, thank you so much for having this audit meeting. You bring so much to the table, and I must agree with Igor and
Thank you,
what
guys.
Brian was
Thank
saying.
you, Mike.
You bring so much value. You are a magnet, and we just appreciate you. I just
Deeply
want to,
grateful.
I just want to say two things. I got a question at the end, and I'm going to say Brian keep on saying what he says, and he's so right. You know, I joined sub to 13th of last month. I didn't know what I was doing. I was getting lost in the Zoom and the meetings. I just started taking action, jumping, making calls, and now
Beautiful.
I have these agents seemingly chasing me because I send email and make phone calls. And I'm the kind of guy who like to record myself talking and then tweak it for the next time I talk to someone else. And it's just getting better and better. I had a call from a agent a couple nights ago. He reached out to me 11:23 in the night, and I was like, I don't know how to answer him at this hour. But when I text him, he was thinking that we want to. He was looking for a loan to make a purchase, but I told him that we're not looking to invest in what he's doing, we're looking to buy. And the conversation lead to the start of a good relationship. He tells me what he's doing and what he has planned. So
Amazing.
as long as you keep talking, you might not know what you're saying, make the mistakes. Sometimes I watch my recording of my conversation and I laugh at myself. So, man, that was crazy. You shouldn't say it like that. But at least I tried. And it gets better and better. And now I have a pipeline of agents coming at me because I email, text, leave voice message, and now they're reaching out. So I say, you don't have to
Beautiful.
have it all figured out. As Brian is saying, he's so right. Just keep on taking action. And the more action you take, the better result you will see. What I want to
100%.
ask you, Ella, is with regard, a gentleman is in Tennessee, and I was looking at some apartment over there. First thing, are you interested in luxury apartments? And when it comes to whether luxury apartment or multifamily, based upon the debt they are in, what percentage of the value in debt you're willing to take on, in the sense of, let's say it value $30 million and their debt is like 25, or whatever the amount, 5 million and the debt is like 3.5. Is there a percentage of debt you don't want to take on, or how does that work?
Well, it really doesn't matter. First of all, we need to make sure that is assumable, right?
Yeah.
Not sub two. They call in loans all the time. Not sub two, assumable. And then if there is a debt, seller will be ready to finance some of it after that. So then it doesn't matter that the debt could be 30% or 40% and seller finance another 50%, you know? So it's really, we kind of want to be at 80% if possible with financing, not investors, right? So that could be conventional if books are okay, or it could be assumable loan and a combination of seller financing. That's kind of where we're trying to be.
Okay.
Depend on a cap rate. Again, if cap rate is very high, we could allow loan to be inside, and the books are okay. So a little bit about the loan. So when can we take the conventional loan? We can take conventional loan only when the books were really reported correctly. If it's a mom's and pop's asset and everything is on the napkin in cash, we wouldn't be able to take loan because loan gonna take you T12 or T2. T12 is our profit and loss on 12 months. T2 is in 2 years. So depend on the loan product, they're gonna ask, and they're gonna be basing not on pro forma or not on potential or anything like that. They want to see from the seller how did they operate it last year or two. And that's how, so if they've been napkin or cash and there is no good books, there is no financing. So it has to be either assumable or seller financing. There is no other way.
Okay, thank you for that. And are you interested in luxury apartments as well as you want RV park and multifamily?
No, apartments, absolutely. Multifamily, yes, of course.
Okay.
40 plus
Okay.
units. Very much interested.
Thank you so much.
Like many of us guys. This is one of the good assets to have. Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank you, Mike. Tom, please go ahead.
Thanks, Ella. Appreciate it. So real quick, my background is, I don't think I've talked before. This is my fourth out of fifth Zoom call. My background's been in sales, recruitment and sales my entire career. So what Igor had said really resonated with me. I think joining this orbit has been tremendously helpful to learn some more of the details from you, Ella, as well as other folks that have shared valuable information as far as
Beautiful.
finding deals and trying to do some of the underwriting and understanding some of the principles that you shared, as well as Igor reinforced a little while ago. I think as we get further as a group, as an orbiting group and a community, it would be really probably helpful too, because you're sharing how we can assess things, and you shared some earlier deals. But as people bring you deals and you get deeper in, from my sales and sales management background, I've taught a lot of people how to sell. Doing the deals as they're going, or postmortems. Maybe it went to a successful conclusion and you guys can review how it came to be. But even if it didn't come to a successful conclusion, how did the deal go? What did we learn, et cetera, et cetera? I just think that's going to help us all continue to just
It's even more
get better.
important. It's even more important. Yeah.
So we can learn. And I think the real valuable thing of this will be, as we get better, we can go deeper. So we're bringing you opportunities that are even more fully vetted. Like, I think that would be a great goal, that we have the ability to do that. So anyways, that was my quick thought. And
Very agree.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also thought one other thing, just a quick question. Brian had started at the very top when you were working on your computer, and kudos to you for even joining us with all the hotel issues and all that stuff you're dealing with. But Brian had said that he was making calls, and you can jump in, Brian, too, Mike. And the property he was most interested in, it sounded like it was under agreement or they're close to. But I feel like from an earlier video that we when I played back the recording, you could do a follow-up, like Brian could do a follow-up LOI as like a backup offer, couldn't he, on one of on that one that he was interested in? He said he might call him back in like a week. But if it was underwritten well, like that's something that I think you had mentioned, Nelly, you've done in the past, as like had a backup LOI. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes, I mean, we're going back and forth. So we start kind of on a wishful. I usually start seller financing, most of it stacking method. Like I just trying to be like very, very optimistic. And then we kind of, then we're working it out. Then sometimes we get to kind of, we fall apart. Like, for example, the hotel, right? I pretty much said, okay, I will take it, Kuala, only with the 1 million minus, because I don't know what this wall gonna be. I have to assume I maybe need to rebuild this wall completely. I have a rough kind of estimation to rebuild the wall completely. It's gonna have $1 million. So I will feel safe if the price dropped by $1 million. And then I know that my investors' money are safe, because then if I rebuild, for the $1 million price, we're gonna be in a good spot. So I still think they may come back, because they think they're gonna sell it this way. I don't think it will not gonna happen, and I think I may see them, and maybe it's not gonna be minus million, but maybe it's gonna be minus 500 or 700. It's still gonna be pretty good resolution, because then I have a buffer. Then I have a buffer of fixing and rebuilding that wall. So we are going back and forth. It's a process. It rarely we're gonna send LOI and it's just seller like yeah sure, like everything. It's gonna go back and forth. Like the RV park we're working with Nancy. Like I sent very beautiful LOI. He potentially back like he didn't want to, like basically I was trying to bring less investors. I said, okay, do not 80% of seller financing, but 90%, but only for 2 years. And he was like, no, I want million and period. So, and I'm like, okay. So now I send him, I actually really wanted to show you guys the structure I'm sending. I mean, we kind of go into the end. So I will start it from next and let's see if he approves it. But I created very beautiful structure that I just came up with it yesterday. I sent it to him, yet another iteration, but we're negotiating. We're going back and forth and negotiating. It's a process. It's a process of negotiations. We go back and forth, and then also as we're going into due diligence, we're gonna find stuff. And it's gonna be another conversation. And that's what happened in Kuala when I started negotiating, because we started from seller financing rate of 5.5 for 5 years and 6.5 for another 5 years. But then I actually freaked out because of the casino. It wasn't truly the case, but I started to read Claude, and actually inspector came, home inspector, and he told me, oh, casino going down and the whole area is not fantastic. I started panicking and I negotiated it to 5%, the whole thing. So then when I looked more and learned that this actually wasn't true, but I already negotiated, so why not? But
Yeah.
we go in due diligence, we're gonna find stuff, and that's where we say, okay, you told us such and such and such, but it's not true. We need to account for more taxes, for more insurance. Like for example, in Kuala, I didn't have a flood insurance at all because sellers was like, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm like, no, it does matter, because if I have a little bit bigger hurricane that it was then it was Helene, all my those cabins gonna be piled up at the end of the creek.
Yeah, they're
So
right on the river. Yeah.
right. So he's like, whatever. Like it didn't go like a feet. It went feet under the houses. Okay, so what you're saying is that we're gonna have feet more, and all our house is gonna just float together with the river, somewhere else. So like no, we are responsible operators. We do everything. So once you put all of these things in your due diligence, suddenly your cap rate gonna be not so beautiful. And then when we're coming back to them and we say, okay, no, we require price reduction. And they might
Yeah.
go away and then they might come back. Like the one in New York, I literally started maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So we dropped 800 by now, but it's almost 5 months we're going back and forth.
Tom,
So
sorry.
takes
Tom,
time.
to answer your question, I will go back, but you gave me a great idea, and thank you from the sales perspective. And I think this is a point of having different strengths. I didn't think about that. Ella, reviewing the property, the one that advertised seller financing, 80% at 4% interest only.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share that with you. But Tom brings up a great point. Why not underwrite it and just start and submit the LOI? The gentleman already spoke to me. He has 2 properties. I don't know if it's the same buyer, but Tom, that's a great point. And I wouldn't mind just submitting something and having that backup already.
Yeah, it's
Thank
like
you.
a backup offer on a single family. I've had plenty of friends that put a backup offer and things didn't go well with the first one and they ended up getting the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk more
Yeah.
about that later, Ella, but it was advertised seller finance. I think it lasted like 2 days. And it's in New Bedford. As you know, it's still coming up and coming.
Sorry, I couldn't look. I've been a little bit
No, it's okay. It's okay. I know you've been busy. I've submitted a bunch of stuff, but nonetheless, we'll talk later. But thank you, Tom. That's a great point, and that's a strength of this community because I wouldn't have thought that. But thank you.
Yeah. Joy, thank you, Tom. Joy, please go ahead. Oh, we cannot hear you. Please
Can you
unmute.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you. Please.
Hi, Ella. I just wanted to say I also admire you tremendously.
Oh.
And you have done such a wonderful, I've learned so much here in the moment. I mean, just this one time, and especially in view of what you've been through, what you were describing about this terrible situation that you were in. Anyway, I just want to preface it with all of that. I wanted to confirm what I thought I heard you say, and it's very fundamental, that did I understand you to say you're not wanting any sub-2 financing?
I hear they being called. I literally within last 2 days, and I am here actually at very nice, I'm staying in the house with Casey Gregerson. They have a mastermind coming up. I just by chance here, but I'm talking to various sub-2 members, and that's what I'm hearing more and more than loans being called up on sub-2.
That's what I thought I heard you say.
That's what I also want to share with you, that my own Morbi method was called in 3 weeks ago. The Morbi method that I
wow.
just closed in March, it's got called in, and they didn't even how found it. They sent us a foreclosure notice. They didn't even call us, said, okay, remove the second mortgage, this and that. They returned us to foreclosure. So I was running around. Luckily, my seller was super flexible, and we just changed all the papers within a day. We released the second mortgage. We put on LP, limited partner.
Yes.
He kind of agreed on it very quickly. We've done that.
Wow.
And I got scared. So the reason I got scared because the law, I was afraid that if they continue with foreclosure, so the ways they did it for us, they stopped us accepting our payment. So we paid June, and they took it, but they did not apply to the loan, and they sent us on foreclosure for non-payment, even though the payment
Wow.
was sent to them. So I was
Ah,
nervous that it's gonna go to the credit, and this is the worst
yes.
credit failure when the mortgage. I have New York multifamily to assume. So if my credit now go down and I cannot assume multifamily, I was running like a chicken on fire. As literally like
Sure.
I couldn't run any
Sure.
quicker. So the
Ah,
moment we released it, they immediately took us from foreclosure, but I couldn't even get from them. Like I was trying, okay, we're gonna release it. Are you taking us from foreclosure? Because if they say no, I need to go and take private money lender quickly, like in 2 weeks, and
yes.
before we have an end of month, because by the end of the month they're gonna report us to the agency. So I was
Ah,
writing emails to the foreclosure attorney, to the lender, like respectfully and warmly, and like I was saying, like, oh, we always plan on time. Please, can you please let us know? We will be okay. Are you reporting us? Like I, so that's
yes.
so nervous
Yes.
because of that. So
Oh,
I
it's a
don't think we should be doing
nightmare.
that.
Oh,
I
it's
don't think we
awful.
should be doing sub two, or we shouldn't be doing. We should be assuming, or we should be and we shouldn't. We should. So I could do separate
So,
session on different security structures. I can explain what other structures are. So there is LP with execution clause. There is a deed of trust. There is a different way to secure
yes.
seller on a second position without having a second mortgage. So I'm gonna do session
Yes.
on that. I'll show you. And this is
Great.
how negotiating, we're telling them second mortgage, because they would not, like, if we're gonna start explaining them it on the time of like submitting LOI,
Yes.
it's a mouthful. So we don't explain them really, but I usually, when I send LOI, I say we're gonna secure you with a maximum, like how to, like I put the language that with a maximum like with a strong securities, or I need to look up the
Yes.
language. ChatGPT did for me,
Yes.
but
That's, are
but
you,
but
has
I want to
Pace,
say,
have you shared? I'm sorry, go ahead.
please, you go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to ask you if Pace was aware of this, if you've shared this with Pace,
You know,
this
guys,
information.
I will tell you. I will tell you a little bit of well, maybe disappointing to you, but despite that you have community, you're a little bit on your own. So we always need to. I
Yes.
did reach out to a lot of people. I got no help. So and mostly I reached out to people. I asked, okay, did it happen to you? And what did you do? And like 90% people said no, it didn't happen. And one person who actually handling this situation, he told me previously that, okay, if it happens to us, come to me, I'll handle it for you. And when I called him, and I know him well actually, we skied together. We had one of the masterminds in winter, and when I called him, he said, I knew that. It's almost like you should get it. No, he said, it's been a month since I'm telling to the whole community you shouldn't be doing it. So it was okay, thank you. That's helpful to me.
Oh,
So
oh,
you
wow.
little bit, I did reach out to people. I've got zero help. So
Yes.
and I pretty much okay. And I mean we have community, and sometimes people will help you, but just don't assume, just don't assume that.
Exactly.
Don't assume, please.
No.
Like we all like we need to be we're fighting for our own, rights and goods.
Yes.
So pretty
I
much
hear
I
you.
spent the day reach out. I figured out no, nobody helping me, none of the mentors helping me. none of the people actually who taught me that method. I reached out to people who have classes, and it's like, it didn't happen to you. They said no, and you shouldn't be closing the same day. I mean, I don't know if it's
Oh,
double closing, doesn't matter. The same day,
and
don't
that
like. I
was
mean,
it.
it's a second mortgage. I mean, they don't like it. Period. Second day, first day. So we little bit on our own. I mean, and Pace
Yes,
including, as much as we all love him, he's easy, and you're probably not gonna get super quick answer from him
yes,
either. So yeah,
I
I mean, I'll
understand.
help you with as much as I can. We are in our orbit. I mean, I will answer
Of
right away.
course.
But
Yes,
generally, we, a little bit, I mean, it was a scare for me, definitely. I was like, okay,
oh,
now I'm
yeah,
losing my credit.
sounds,
Then I'm losing my next property. I cannot take mortgages. And like, now I need to find a sponsor, right? I need to work with somebody, which is also doable, right? We get sponsors.
yes,
We can get
yes,
sponsored. They would chew like 20% out of you, and you get sponsors, sure. uh, but we like this, we cherish our credit very much. We work
yes,
hard on it.
of course. It's a terribly expensive experience and lesson. On just a very quick note, I just wondered if you had had a chance to see my email. I didn't know if it got buried, and you've been so very busy. And I totally understand. I just wanted to draw your attention to it if you hadn't seen it. And just anyway, can
I
you
will. I am
froze.
behind very much because of I pretty much like I flew Monday to the park, and then now I came to
Ah,
Montana. So
you
I am
had,
pretty much only handling emergencies,
I
and that's gonna be
understand.
still closed couple of days. So I'm probably not gonna get to submissions up
It,
until
it,
Sunday.
it's
But then
fine.
I'm
It's,
not going anywhere for another 2 weeks at least. So I will be going through and crashing all of that and replying to
that's
everyone. So
fine.
I will not.
Thank you.
I will
Just
reply on
disregard the
everything.
hotel. You answered about the hotel, which I mentioned it, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to relate to that. I got that today. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you,
Do
guys.
we get notified of this a weekly thing every week, or do we keep the same link? How does that work?
You are notified. I think it's maybe, I mean, I'm creating it, so it's probably new every time. Igor does send it. We kind of sending
Okay.
it, we're trying to send it towards more Tuesday, Wednesday, but like, at least this time, I didn't know. I didn't even thought I would be able to join. So I'm super happy that I could have.
Oh, I am
So I
too.
am trying to
Yes.
keep it on Thursday, 6 o'clock, the way we are, so we're probably going to keep it this way. You know what? That's a good point. Maybe I will create the same Zoom. So
I
we
would
don't need
love to
to.
mention that we have the Discord now. So if you just join the channel, you will be receiving the links both ways in the Discord and
Oh,
also
good.
by email.
Thank you. I'll have to learn how to navigate Discord. My next tech challenge. Thanks. That's
Oh, I think I have a call and asking for link. So maybe Igor, if you can post again. I am not super
that's
fond of
great.
Discord myself, but that's a good place for us to be kind of all in the same chat. So at least
You,
we can ask questions and we can answer to each other. That's huge. And
yes,
we can have Zoom in there as well. And I think
that's
maybe
right.
I'll create Zoom and pin it in there. So we have the same Zoom every time. So this way we can just
That's
keep it on
great.
6 o'clock every Thursday and not to even um not to even kind of look
Perfect.
for that.
I think Discord, just incidentally, piece of trivia for a minute. Discord is the weirdest word for that kind of platform. Discord means lack of harmony. And I've never understood who or why somebody would pick a word like that for, I guess it's national. I mean, it's like a Facebook thing. And then the name it's weird. Just something that struck me when I very first ever heard that word. I thought,
You're
what
right.
is Discord? It's
That's so
negative. It
funny.
has a negative association, connotation. It's just weird. Anyway, I just had to say that because I didn't have anybody to say it to.
Oh no, please. Yeah, we are here. We are here for that for sure. You can say, you know what, Joy, you can say that in Discord.
or chat.
Anybody, yeah, anybody wants to complain about something, go ahead there. It's actually not bad
Just
idea.
send it in this.
We are
Where
here to
did this
share good
word
and
come
bad. We're here to share all of our lives. So
I
yeah,
love it. I love you, Ellen.
I
Ellen,
love you
just
too, Joy.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, guys. I think we are. I think Tom already. Oh, Natalie, please go ahead.
Okay, I have an RV park. I think everything matched your buy box, but the broker will not talk to me. It says on the thing, will not talk to Pace Morby's Bird Dog or the third party. We want to talk to the buyers only. And I think it's a really good deal. So can we sign an NDA unless we send them an NDA?
Yeah. So
And
send me NDA.
okay,
And
send
say
the
that
NDA
you
to you.
working,
Okay.
like say that you and my partner, right? So
Okay.
don't say that you are bird dog. You say, okay, I am working for, like, I am Sunrise Capital Acquisition Group, and that's our. So we impersonate Paces, at least for that purpose, right? We impersonate Paces proof of funds, and we like make it look like me. I mean, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Make it
Yeah, I
look like
told.
we're looking together. I mean, you can sign NDA with my company or send it to me. I will
Okay.
sign. Doesn't matter. And just make it. Don't call yourself bird dog. Call yourself like
No, I said I was the acquisition manager for your
acquisition manager
company.
for
And they
Sunrise.
were
Yeah.
still not good. They were still not good enough. He said, no, we're talking to buyers only. But the RV park has been there for almost a year. So there's something, that's why I want to know
Okay.
why it's been there
Let's
for
look at
so
it. If you
long.
think, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, let's look at it and see what we can. Yeah, what we can
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about if you said you're a partner? How about that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, my
Yeah.
partner.
Say partner. It really
Yeah.
doesn't matter because once we
But
get to PNS, we're already gonna sign whatever. But
yeah, but that I
yeah,
already said that, and I have an accent, so it's easy to recognize, that it's me again. I cannot change my title to this guy.
yeah.
Natalie,
Well, Natalie,
the broker, did he say that he didn't want to talk to any Pace Morby's student or people, or
Yes,
he just
it is on Crexy. Pace
okay?
Morby,
So
Bird
I'm
Dog, and
assuming it's probably one of those. There's one well-known company called MHP. They literally put it on. All they do is RV, especially in the melting pot. They're very, very huge,
This
and
is
they put it
Texas.
right there.
It's probably
Huh?
Texas. I've seen it. This is Texas.
yeah, it's in Texas.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
That's
a
why I'm
So
Texas
happy.
yeah.
company. They do
I
it
think
across
we
the board.
spoke to her, Natalie. Is there a lady named Billy? Is
No,
she the
There's
broker? Is
multiple
her name?
listings, Ella. There's multiple listings, and they're just
We spoke with lady named Billy,
They have
and
some pretty good one too. Yeah.
no, this
and
Most
one
of
is
their
she
RVs are like
she has
renovated.
it as on her description.
yeah, I'm trying to open it. His name is Landon, but I'm trying to find his company. Come on.
There are some
Exactly what she
uh
said, and I said, okay, I'm from Pace Morby, so I'm sorry, but
I
I am
know.
yeah,
from his organization.
there are some brokers who are catching up and they literally do not want to talk to any they don't even want to hear about seller financing with Pace Mobile or whatnot. Like they
Yeah.
would literally post it on their website. So it's like obviously they are trying to, they're looking out for the commission left and right because they want to get the money right away. So seller finances, they're not really getting the money right away. But it's weird. It's some people hate our community. Some people have no idea we exist. Seller finances even exist.
I think
And yeah,
I think what's going on there is not they're going to make the commissions. I don't think that's it. I think what's going on is there's a lot of people trying to assign these contracts via wholesale, and
I
so
see.
they
I see.
spend a lot of time assigning, and then the person can't find, so they lock up the contract for 30 days, a week. They're
And then
just
you're
into
stuck.
that.
Yeah.
And so they get stuck. They say, I got to pause this for a week, 30 days while you find somebody. And a lot of this, you got to think about this. I think Pace talked about this in the past. I'm sorry, I'll let it take, but Pace talked about this in the past, how we were on a call about wholesaling, and states are changing their wholesale laws. Okay. He was on the phone with Jeff Norton. Jeff Norton is the guru of wholesaling, right? He's the granddaddy, let's call him. He's a young guy. But his mentality, right? He's been at this for a long time, I think over 20 years, licensed broker or real estate agent. Nonetheless, he's on top of all these legislation changes. And Pace mentioned that what happened is, or what's happening is, people have been complaining to their politicians. Young kids, internet age, they get on, they figure out this wholesaling thing, they wrap up these contracts, and they don't follow through. There was a homeowner who had a home, moved out, an elderly person moved out across the country. The contract never went through. This person had no place to live, moved out, no money. Pace came and saved the day for this particular person. So that's an example of where, they ruin it for all of us. So I think it's a product of something like that, and not that they don't want to sell. I think it's just there's a lot of people, who just new, and they're just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks, and people end up, getting hurt. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby, Brian, sorry. I was up.
The company is North
Brian.
Star Brokerage.
Bobby Bonilla. Yeah,
Sorry
Pittsburgh
about
Pirates.
that, Brian. Anyway, yeah, so I ran into that a lot. It's not only MHP value, there's another RV park company that does it too. And it was like, as you were saying, it's trying to they don't want newbies coming in, they want serious buyers, which, we are, but they want somebody experienced. However, still call them. I have one that's still going for an RV park. And it literally says right on there. Actually, they put the listing on after I had already been in communication with them. I'm still in communication with them, still trying to wrap up the RV park, and they don't know that I'm part of the sub-2 community. So I just don't bring it up. So, so I'm using an OC member.
That's good to
Their
know.
business is the one it's under for the NDA. So you're not putting Pace's name under it. So you still can call, and you'll be fine. Just you want to be a little seasoned with some of these people that they know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
to know.
But
Thanks.
if you're stuck, let me know, and we can call together, and basically, like I know I know to sound authoritative, even though it's not necessarily true. But I usually, like, I do that voice of, like, that's what I'm doing. I'm usually saying I'm a licensed broker from Massachusetts, but I'm direct buyer. I own blah 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 blah, blah, a lot of properties. So you kind of need to, you almost like you need to a little bit kill them with authority as well, because they, this nastiness is not exactly, there is a place. So I trying to, like, throw it in, even though, like, again, like, we all little bit kind of creating smoke, we all not having, we all not pay smorby, one way or another. So we're trying to be, but none of us have, like, ginormous amount of assets nevertheless. So I mean, they only brokers there, like, it's not like, so we calling, we have to be presentable. I usually like sending my bio, because also my bio, it doesn't show, like, ginormous amount of assets. It's showing like bunch of, but not like, I don't have like 10 RV parks in there. I'm not Michelle Bisson. So yes, and somebody
Quick
probably
question.
would walk away, but I see they talking to me still. I mean, they're really okay with what I have when I am. So please.
Quick question. It can let's say next week somebody brings in a prospect that we can kind of turn that prospect into a hot lead. Like, would it be good to kind of watch the whole process, like within within this group? Or I don't know what next is going to look like. I'm sure there will be a lot of people, but how about, like, somebody brings a prospect in and we kind of use that prospect to take it to the finish line? Is that something that would motivate
We
everybody
could
to
have,
do?
we could
Okay.
have. We just need to. I mean, I have a repark I'm working that Nancy brought, so
Okay.
I think by next Thursday I should be knowing, are we going or not, and how. So if I'm
Okay.
signing by the end of next week, then I
Okay.
will walk you through exactly my first LOI, my second
Okay.
LOI, my third
Yeah.
LOI. So we
It'll
would
be
do that.
yeah,
So
it will be very, very
I will do
helpful
that.
to, yeah.
I will do that for sure. I will
Be
do that
able
for
to
sure.
help be able to help anybody who join. And we keep it within, it's almost like you're helping a fellow family, a family member or
Yeah.
somebody, like you want that person to succeed, and we are helping that person to get to the finish line.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, this is my goal. Like all the
Okay.
I know I can also show you LOI that didn't go through, right? And I'm hoping maybe they will come back. So we could do it. I sent bunch of. So it's just like some
Okay.
said no, right?
Okay.
So
Well,
I can show that as well.
well, I don't want to waste your time, obviously, right? But
No,
I
but it's also
just,
exercise, because I am trying
yeah.
to do like I'm trying to get a better conditions.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I think next week we should be able to look on that one. And if anything, so it's my intention that anything that comes through
Mm.
to walk us through, like I will show and walk every asset that's coming through. That's
Thank you.
that's what I'm
Thank you.
doing, 100%. And I can
Thank
show
you.
you a
What?
couple of previous ones too that already purchased creatively. That's another thing. I can show that process as well. Yeah, how about we do like maybe deals next time? I can show you the ones that went through already, that already purchased and creative. I will show you the RV park that now in the making. Whatever new LOIs I submitted since then. Yeah, let's just talk deals. Let's talk deals that
Thank you.
kind of already
Well,
in
it
the
goes back
making
into
one way or
Brian's
another.
thing. Yeah, let's take action. So that's another way
Yeah,
of all of us taking action, right? And
yeah.
we can all learn from one deal, and then somebody else can replicate something that, talk to that person. I mean, something that they want. If it's a similar deal that they want to go and go after, they watch the process for somebody else's from prospect to turn into lead, that it became a deals and all that stuff. It will be very,
Yeah.
very instructive. So
Absolutely. This is we're gonna do it ongoing. This is we just kind of still had today things to show, right, and talk about. But overall,
yeah,
that's our goal. Like ongoing, see the deals you guys bring, work them out, see what's used, like how we shape, what we do, what we extract, and that's basically what these Zooms are about. Truly, we
thank
should
you,
be doing that.
thank you.
We just I didn't have many things to show you because I wasn't too active past week, but I think by next Thursday I will. So I'll go through a lot of your deals and I'll pick some, and
Okay.
especially if I send LOIs on them, and let's look at them. Absolutely.
Ella,
Well, I guess what we could do. Oh, sorry. I guess what we could do is, if we can almost send you all of our prospects, be let's say 2 or 3 days before then, and you can, when you have time, you can look into it, and then pick whatever you think is actually uh valuable,
Mm-hmm.
so for all of us to learn from, because what I think as a prospect might not even be, it might not make sense to somebody, a veteran like you, right? Because I'm new to the game too, right? So uh, that's just another suggestion. So you don't just kind of like guess. I mean, you can pick anybody up, but I just don't want to waste your time. I'm assuming
No, no, no,
nobody else
nothing.
want to waste
Wait,
any. Yeah.
nothing is. I am trying to answer regardless. So I am. So the only reason I didn't answer so far is because I slammed this week. But I will go. My plan is to go through all emails, that all submissions you
Okay.
send, answer you. So you will get an answer from me.
Okay.
If the deal is not good, I will
Okay.
explain to you why. I will, and please don't
Thank
get,
you.
guys. This is very important because I'm trying to be with that language.
We're all
But
learning. So
I am just trying to say, okay, this is doesn't work because. So, and I will write to you exactly why it doesn't work. So
thank you.
uh,
Thank you.
then I will be replying to all of us. I need to
E-
sit down and bury myself for a day and answer all submissions. 100%.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Ella,
That's just
one,
wonderful.
Ella,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ella, one quick point I was going to say on some of the stuff about
You looking good. You look good.
the
Hold on. I
parks
think I
in
need to just a
Texas.
second. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the
Mm-hmm.
parks in Texas, just from a sales perspective, like, and granted, I'm new and I have just started making calls and stuff myself, but just from doing sales for 1,000 years, like you had said earlier, some brokers are great and some brokers are not.
Mm-hmm.
In analogy to my recruitment world, you'd call in trying to say, "Hey, I can help you fill your CTO or CFO," and they're like, no, we don't want to talk to recruiters. But if you called and said, I'm a partner at XYZ firm, and you leveraged, when I filled X number of searches for this company, this company, this company, all of a sudden they put you through the gate. It's a gatekeeper thing. They're like, for whatever reason, some people have positive feelings about sub 2. And like Brian had said, there's probably a lot of wholesalers in sub 2s getting kind of hurt. But I think if we use, hey, we're with Sunrise Investments, I'm a partner, and yes, we can sign it. I can get my principal partner get on the
Acquisition
phone with you.
department. I'm
That's
calling you
it.
from acquisition department. Yeah.
Right. And if you say you're a partner
Yeah.
and hey, my principal partner, I can connect you up with. So it sounds like you have authority. And then there's even someone of higher level you can bring into the call. And that a lot of
Yes.
times that gets you around the gatekeepers. That's my only point.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at when I was referring to partner. I think that's perfect if that works for you, Ella.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. 100%. And yeah.
Wonderful.
And use authoritative voice. This is another thing it's very important because we have a lot of young bird dogs calling and not necessarily kind of respectful. So just use practice a little bit and use authoritative voice. Then we are legit buyers. We are legit buyers. We buy big assets, and we have a PACE partnering with us potentially. A PACE partner with a lot of. He wanted to partner with me on a hotel, right? So we are absolutely we buying big assets. We are legit buyers. So that's feel that way. Feel yourself those shoes. Dress those shoes, and yeah,
If I could just interject here,
If they press that though, can I just ask this one thing? Ella, if they press this and say, well, after I say I am a partner in Sunrise, Sunrise Investments, I forgot
capital acquisitions.
If I'm a partner there and they say, well, are you the actual buyer? It may be that they might press it to that extent.
You say, I am acquisition manager. I am acquisition manager, and I'm here to ask you some questions, and I will connect you with our principal. The moment I'm submitting all this information, I'm here to gather all the information for our principal, and principal will reach out right after. And basically that's
so that's the same thing as my being partner. If it doesn't sound like I've changed the title when I say I'm the acquisition manager, if they press it.
Joy, I can tell you from my experience what works, if you don't mind. So
please.
Partner acquisition doesn't. The point is that you can. Well, first of all, let me just say to a certain extent, fake it till you make it. I'm nobody, right? But I have talked to people, and I'll say my partner. I'll bring Ella in. So, reps count, practice. But what's worked for me is really just, you can represent yourself as saying, we're part of the acquisition team. We go out. So we go out and we buy assets. Yes, I'm the person that acquires these assets. We do the underwriting, and the principal owner makes the final decision. Something along those lines.
Right.
Works. One last thing I want to remind everybody on here is that, Ella has made a reputation for herself for just so, I don't think I have to remind it, but I will say it's just, there's going to be some nasty people out there. Let's make sure we conduct ourselves in a way that represents Ella, right? And just a friendly reminder, you're going to run into some nasty people, turn your cheek, go on to the next one. And that's it, right? I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you. I actually ignoring nasty people. I still I'm completely ignoring. Brokers are nasty. This is name of a game. I don't know why. Brokers are nasty. I'm not even I'm not here in a social party. So they're nasty. I ask my questions. Sometimes they warm up. The nastiest broker warming up when they need to. So what? We're not so let them be nasty. We're here, we're asking questions, we need to ask what we need to ask, and let them be nasty. Whatever. There is a lot of nasty people in our industry. Real estate is not a it's not a nice industry. A lot of money involved.
Definitely not. Yeah.
You know that better than anyone. It's not. We're not in a nasty. We're not in a nice game. Yeah,
Mind if I
we
add
not.
something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so in my experience, so I've been bird dogging actually for Casey over there where you are, and so he knows some of the stuff I've
Mm-hmm.
done. Really, the way my experience has gone is you just make the calls. Most of the time, they're not even asking who you work for. That I've found. You can use a little fluff of saying we have some assets that looking buy all over the country or whatever. You can say we're up in Boston and we're looking to expand our portfolio and get into some larger assets. So you can use that type of stuff. But really, it's just a matter of getting on the phone call first. Make the call and then run with it. Don't be afraid of whatever they're going to say. You just get on and start talking. And sometimes, at least my experience, most of the people I've talked to have been pretty good. And you just explain, what you're looking for, and say you're interested in the property, and they're pretty receptive. And a lot of times you let them talk. They'll give you a whole background story of, it was, the people that owned it like 6 times before them. So if you let them
Yeah.
talk, there's less you
Sure,
have to say.
no. Yeah,
So-
I do understand all of that, Martin. It's just that initial thing that I was trying to determine how to identify myself because it's a new role. I have no problem with the rest of it. So I
Yeah, and
got
I've
that.
just-
Thank you.
Yeah, and I've just said I'm part of the acquisitions department. That's all I've said.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can say like we are direct buyers. We're not represented by broker, which is already great for them. We
Yes.
say, I usually say I am a direct buyer. So hello, I'm Goren. I'm a direct buyer, and can I please ask you some questions? So I'm looking at the park, and I just go like I kind of overwhelm them. I ask the questions. Can you please tell me more? Can you yeah, you can just go straight to your questions.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can say just as simple as that. I'm a direct buyer. I'm a direct buyer. I'm looking for RV parks. And yeah, just even can I please ask you, do you have a couple minutes? Can I ask you some questions? And just do it
Right.
with authority. Okay,
Mhm.
so yeah, do you have any debt on the property? Prepare maybe 3, 4 smart questions and just kind of hit them with them right away. Is there a current debt on the property? Why seller is selling? So let them kind of move the ball to their side. Let them start talking.
Right.
Let them start talking, listen, curiosity. So we basically exercise curiosity and authority. We're interested in their
Yes.
product. We're curious about what they have, and we're authoritative because we are buying those properties and we are direct buyer. We're not represented by anyone. We're
Right.
investors
Yes.
who looking for this particular asset class. And can I ask you some questions?
Perfect.
I,
Yes.
I just sent
Thank
something in
you.
the chat. It's very interesting. I would take a look into this. It's called the Sandler Way or negative reverse selling. It's close to, I think it's Jeremy. I forgot his name, but Alan might know it. It's Jeremy something, the NEPQ guy.
Yes, Miller, Jeremy Miller, the seller guy, the sales, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So most of his
Yeah.
content came from Sandler, and that's kind of a different way. And the entire concept is about breaking the pattern. So when you're asking questions and when you're communicating, you just sound completely different. And there are minor tricks, because here's the point. There are books, let's say How to Make Friends and Influence People. That's a book that almost everybody knows. So when you start talking to someone and you say their name 2, 3 times, it looks like you're doing something good, but you're actually harming yourself, because almost anyone in the industry knows that's a tactic, a trick you're trying to use. So when you try to apply that, people already see you are a salesperson and you're trying to sell them something. And what seller does is the opposite. You kind of invite them to tell them their name. So you're not forcing something. It's very interesting. And some other things also, when you're asking questions, do not be afraid of that. Just kind of I think one of the ways he approaches this is through not being attached to the outcome. So just to not call them desperately looking for a deal. Just call them, well, I know. I'm just kind of very naturally, very conversational. I was just looking at the property. I honestly think it would not be a good fit for me because now you are reversing the roles, and that's the concept behind negative reverse selling. You're telling them, I don't think you're a good fit for me. Why would you be a great fit? So actually, you are creating a reverse psychology mechanism that they are trying to sell you why the property is good. So you kind of shift the question from you're a qualified buyer to are they a qualified broker or property for you? And that's incredible. So, I mean, you have to learn and practice, and that's the hard way. But I think it's a much better approach than just following a script
Thank you.
because then
Wow.
you
Thank you.
just feel like any
That's
other
cool thing.
person.
Actually,
Yeah,
I
that's
have the whole
interesting.
membership for Jeremy Miller. If anybody guys just reach out to me, I will give you login because I actually paid for the year. I am not using it. First, I didn't have time, and second, I kind of it actually doesn't agree with me too much his techniques. But I do have his all materials. I paid whatever 3,000 for it, as a lot of other classes. So I do have a lot of memberships. If you wanna, I have a membership for RV Parks from Heather Blankenship. I have from Jeremy Miller his membership for his classes. So I have a lot. So yeah, I'm happy to share on if you want to listen. If you want Igor his membership list, just go ahead, tell me, and I'll send you a login. Okay, guys. Thank you,
That's
thank you, thank you.
great.
I will see you
Thank you.
all in a week on a clock. And yeah, keep working, keep sending, keep practicing. I'm gonna be soon answering you on everything. And sorry again for the delay, but thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank
So
you
nice
so
to see you
much.
all.
Be safe, Ella.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll try. Yeah, I know. No more bed bugs for me.
Don't let the
Okay.
bed bugs bite.
See
Don't
you.
let,
Yeah.
yes. And now I
Don't let
appreciate
them.
actually sleeping without bites. I didn't know I would be caring for that much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sticks.
Talk soon.
Hey, Ella,
bye.
I'm gonna text you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk when
Please
you get
do.
a
Please
chance.
do.
I know you're busy. All right.
Please do. I'll absolutely try. I just am at Casey's house and I know
I
more
know, I
people
know,
now are
I know.
coming and I'm
But
trying to be.
I sent you something. 10 cap, Boston.
I will. Yeah, I saw and
Two of
I
them,
will open it up.
double. There's a developer. He's unloading. So
Is it in development process?
nope. Stabilized. Section 8, all rented out to
I will
commercial.
look. I will
There's
look today. I will look
I
today.
sent you. Take a look. I already spoke to the broker. I spoke to them all. He's willing to hold some paper, so on and so forth. And
Uh-huh.
we can
I will look later
yeah.
today.
We'll talk. And
Yeah.
then there's that other one.
We'll talk.
There's like 3 or 4. We'll talk. All right. Anyone have any questions
Thank you.
on AI? Need me to stick
Thank you.
around for AI? Anything?
I gonna quickly read. Quickly
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
read
Go
the
ahead.
messages because I missed them. But yeah, anybody wants to stick, please. I just want to go quickly. What I missed.
If anyone has some questions, AI or whatever, if not, I'm gonna cut out. I know Nancy, you wanted to talk to me. I'm not sure if there's anything I can help you with, but I'm happy to stick around if anyone has any questions or anything like that for me. And I'm nobody, but I'm here to talk.
Oh, you're very much everybody.
I know you're busy. You can cut out if you like, but I'm just
I am reading.
gonna
I'm
stick
reading the
around.
messages. I'm
Okay.
reading messages. So you guys
Hi Nancy,
feel
how are
free to
you?
talk.
Hey, Brian, yeah, I have your phone number. I'll catch up with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
could
right,
use
great.
your help. Really.
Great. Anytime.
Very
Yeah, I'm
impressed
willing to
with
help.
what you're doing. Yes, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yep. No worries. Igor, how are you? You back at school yet?
I haven't
Igor goes to school with
been
my
away.
daughter, by the way.
Yeah.
Goes to school with my
Yeah.
daughter. So
Yeah.
it's a small world. Come to find
Yeah.
out.
So I haven't been away actually. I'm taking 4 classes now in the summer.
All right, good for
And
you.
yeah, I think it ends in the mid of August. Then I have 2 weeks off and then I'm back in the beginning
Yeah.
of September.
Good question.
Yeah.
Get the education, but work for yourself. Don't
Yeah.
work for the man. That's
Hey,
good for you.
Ella.
Good to see you.
Ella,
Yes.
I
Hi,
assume that you're
Nancy.
hi. I assume you're gonna get back to me when you're done catching up, right?
Yes. So I
Okay.
haven't wrote to Billy yet. I'm kind of thinking what to do with that. She wanted a lot of. Yeah, I haven't had a chance. I think yeah. I mean, I did wrote the new LOI to Casey. So that one I sent him. I'm waiting for him on response. So that one is in the middle. But to Billy, I truly didn't have a chance. I think we talked yesterday, and since then I just came to computer first time, like now. So I gonna probably we're gonna have session here going yesterday. So I think I'm gonna we'll be doing it in parallel with the session.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit limited on time.
You still need to look at Billy's.
I still need to look at Billy's. I need to come up with yeah.
I think that once we talk with her, she'll mellow out. She just had a bad experience. So she is actually very friendly and a good agent. So I'll send her a little text.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll send her text.
Please. Yeah, I will.
Sent you two more. I sent you two more and that real big one. So I'll wait to hear from you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.